Wolves against Liverpool. Liverpool with the chance to go top. Andy Reid and John Murray.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, welcome everyone to Molineux. Match just underway. Liverpool kicking off, and Dominic Szoboszlai actually took the kick-off all the way back to Alisson, who's returned to the Liverpool team. He looks exceedingly clean-shaven, I must say, on his return after his hamstring problem. So Callagher on the bench, but Wolves on the attack down the left-hand side. Bottom of the table, Wolves against Liverpool, who can go top. And yes, it is only September, and what a glorious September day it is as well here in Wolverhampton. Blue skies above, sun's been shining, but that's the narrative, Andy Reid. Liverpool can go top.
Yeah, absolutely, and you'd expect them to start right on the front foot. We see Jota pressing high really early on. I expect to see quite a bit of this. Wolves will start brightly enough.
Yeah, Jota back in for Liverpool from their last league starting lineup against one of his former clubs, but it is Wolves in the gold shirts, black shorts and gold socks who are attacking from right to left. Wolves with just 1 point from the 5 games that they've played so far, and Liverpool with that excellent record so far under Arne Slot. Yes, they lost at home to Nottingham Forest, but 4 wins out of 5, and the chance to go above Chelsea and Arsenal and Manchester City, which is the current top 3 after this afternoon's eventful matches. Wolves in possession at the back. They have Johnston in goal, Sam Johnston, Semedo, Santiago Buena and Totti Gomez. So change in central defence with Mosquera, the unfortunate Colombian, out for the rest of the season with his knee problem, and Craig Dawson. Well, there's been illness in the camp this week with Wolves. Dawson's not involved at all, the experienced Dawson. So Santiago Bueno and Totti Gomez, Ait Nouri at left back, then Mario Lemina with João Gomez and Andre in midfield, Bellegarde and Cunha in the wide positions, and Larsson through the middle. And Liverpool 10 changes from midweek in the Carabao Cup, but 2 changes from last weekend in the Premier League. So Alisson back in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Gravenberch and McAllister with Szoboszlai and Salah, Jota and Diaz. No Darwin Núñez, who is actually out with illness as well, so Liverpool have got some problems on that front too. It is Wolves in possession now. The ball played out from Johnston, and they carry it forward from the back with Totti Gomez, who runs into 3 Liverpool players, and the visitors have got it back, Andy.
Yeah, it's been an interesting enough start. The formations are as we'd expect. We know that Liverpool, that 4-2-3-1, they will have maximum width on the offensive line, and Salah staying wide on that right hand side. So you know that they're going to have that width, and they're going to try and create 1v1s, 2v1s even with the fullbacks going forward as well. And I think the questions that are going to be asked today: can Wolves keep Liverpool out? They've had a leaky defence, as we know. It's going to be a difficult task for them. Yeah,
Gakpo's on the bench after he scored a couple of late goals. You might have heard that during the week, the big win against West Ham in the League Cup, and there is no Núñez, but the bang in form Diaz on the left hand side, Jota through the middle, and of course Salah on the right hand side. Of the 18 goals that Liverpool have scored this season, 15 have come from their forward players. That's how in form they are. So it's a challenge for Wolves, of course it is, as the ball is played up towards the halfway line, and then it goes all the way back to Santiago Bueno, who has also come into the Wolves side, just his 3rd start of this season. Now he has Ait Nouri on the left hand side. Just down in front of us as Wolves play from right to left towards the Stan Cullis stand, and the ball is played across from the left hand side by João Gomez and cleared out of play by Van Dijk, and he just shakes his head there, Van Dijk, as if to say, it's got to be better than that from Liverpool. Yeah,
it was a good move by Wolves. Really good interlinking play. Gomez gets down the left hand side, tries that ball with the outside of his foot, and he shaped it really well, and Van Dijk had to be on his guard there.
So Wolves take the throw on the left hand side, and then it's into the penalty area. Bellegarde has the chance to shoot, but he got that all right. He mishit it, actually. We could clearly see it. We were right behind the line of him, weren't we? And it just bounced through to Alisson to pick it up. I think they're the ones that you need to try and feel into the far corner. It's difficult to drag them at the near post. Keeper's got the near post covered, especially a keeper with the quality of Alisson. But a bright start for Wolves. They've had good possession, and they've had a couple of half opportunities. Yes, I saw you do that sort of thing, Andy, 1 or 2 times during your playing career. It feels like a long time ago now, John. Doesn't to me, I have to say. But here we are, first time we've worked together on a commentary, so it's nice to finally
with
have the
commentary
opportunity.
royalty I'm joining today.
Well, that's very kind of you. There'll be a few people sniggering at that. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. This is the 5:30 Premier League kickoff on 5 Live, as we have every weekend of Premier League action. And we've got an excellent choice of list. Well, I hope it's an excellent choice of listening, because the Super League Eliminator is available for you now on 5 Sports Extra via your digital radio and BBC Sounds. And you can also watch it on BBC Two if you're on your way home after Lee won through last night quite dramatically. Free kick to Wolves on the halfway line, and the first yellow card is out from Anthony Taylor, who is the referee, and this is his first match since his record 14 yellow cards in the Bournemouth-Chelsea match a couple of weeks ago, and it's Trent Alexander-Arnold who gets the first of them today.
Yeah, we've seen so far this season there's a real crackdown on people kicking the ball away, people throwing the ball away, and Alexander-Arnold has done that. Really silly.
What's
he
done
knows
that for?
It's really silly. So early in the game, as a full-back, you're on the back foot for the rest of the game. He can't make it. He can't put a foot wrong now. I'm a little bit. He'd be disappointed in that, I'm sure, and the manager will be as well.
That is a remarkable thing to do, isn't it, for someone of Alexander-Arnold's experience, having seen what happened to Declan Rice, Trossard last weekend. And that was blatantly, he kicked the ball away near the halfway line.
It wasn't. There was nothing even subtle about it. It was as in your face as could be.
Very odd. So he's booked. Here's Ait-Nouri for Wolves, and McAllister coming in with a challenge. He's bundled him over. That's a free kick. McAllister protests about that. I don't think it'll be a yellow card this time, but it's a free kick to Wolves on the left-hand side. And the thing, that needs to be said about Wolves, yes, their record this season is terrible, really. That's why they're bottom of the table. They've won one of their last 15 Premier League matches. They've lost 12 of their last 17 league games. But in most of the matches they played this season, I was here for the Chelsea match where they really went toe-to-toe with Chelsea. In an attacking sense, they do cause problems. He has Ait-Nouri playing in the free kick, a long free kick from halfway inside the half, but that's headed away for Liverpool, and then there's a foul on Salah, and it's a free kick to Liverpool. It's 0-0, very early stages. So, they do carry a threat. They've scored in every game but one, the opening defeat at Arsenal.
They've got some really good players. I know they've lost good players in the summer, but they've got some really good players. You look at Lamina and Gomez, Cunha, and I'm really interested to see Larsson today. He looks to me like a bit of a throwback kind of centre forward, old school. He's got really good frame about him. He puts himself about. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has to contribute today.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed watching him against Chelsea here. He's a real big bustler, scored in that match, although it's the only one that he's got so far this season. Larsson through the middle, the big number 9. Foul for Wolves in the centre circle. There's been an early score in that Rugby League Eliminator. Warrington 4, St Helens 0 is the score. As I say, it's on Sports Extra and BBC Two. Watched the end of that Lee match in a pub in Birmingham last night. It was a dramatic finish, and then I found myself walking out into a crowd who were just leaving the Janet Jackson concert at the NIA. I felt slightly out of place. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. There were a lot of people of a certain age, shall we say. So the ball was played across the back line, and Semedo now, who was sent off against Liverpool at Anfield in the last match of last season, Jurgen Klopp's last game. Long ball forward from him, and that's headed out of play by Van Dijk. And there's a little bit of expectation in the applause that comes from the stands from Wolves.
Yeah, I think the crowd appreciate the Wolves have started the game quite well. I like watching what the Wolves build at the moment. They build with, although they're playing with a back four, they build the play with a back three, and they get some width on the top line, and they're able to break the lines with some passes. But that one was just more of a direct one in down the side of Van Dijk, and he had nothing else to do except put it out.
Wolves take the throw, breaks down though. Liverpool are on the counter-attack. Wolves have got to be careful here. Szoboszlai playing the ball forward with the outside of his right boot. Ait-Nouri was back in the right place, and Salah couldn't get there, and Ait-Nouri played it back to goalkeeper Johnston. It's interesting, Mario Lamina, the Wolves captain, in the programme today in his column says that Wolves have worked on their mentality this week, so we'll have to see whether there is any fruit born from that, as Andre is caught in possession. Liverpool coming forward. Here's Salah, but Wolves back in numbers actually, and they've got two around him, and João Gomez is in. Applause for that, as he took the ball away from Salah And then Alexander-Arnold in on the challenge. Diaz now, central position. Here it is, Salah on the right-hand side, puts his foot on the ball, curls it into the box, and it's bounced all the way through to Johnson. Even though Jota was running across the line of the ball, I don't think he got any touch on that at all, or if he did, it was only marginal.
Yeah, I think that's what Jota does really well, his movement in the box. He's so elusive, he's really, really difficult to mark, and he makes that run like all good strikers do across that front post. It was a nice little ball from Salah. There wasn't too much pace on it, but for me, just looking at in the early stages, where Wolves are going to struggle is on the turnover. If they don't get the build quite right and they don't keep possession as well as they want to, when Liverpool turn the ball over, they're a real threat with the quality that they've got.
It's Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. If you've just switched on, if you've been at a match this afternoon, and he's been at 2 matches this afternoon, all of the news, we'll round it up for you at half-time, and of course all the details via the football pages of the BBC Sport website. Liverpool with Jota, who is very popular here in the time that he was here. It's 4 years now since Jota was signed by Liverpool. Talk about the time racing. Here's Diaz now to the left-hand side. It's whipped across the 6-yard box. Salah was in there, and Nouri gets a strong pat on the head from Totti Gomez for doing enough against Salah, and it's all the way out for a throw-in on the left-hand side.
Yeah, well, it was a brilliant ball by Robertson. Maybe had a little bit too much pace on it. Salah got across the front of Ait-Nouri, and Ait-Nouri had his hands on his back. I don't think there was enough for a penalty, but I think Salah went down pretty easy when he knew he wasn't going to get on the end of it.
He's got to be careful, Ait-Nouri, though. He was on the wrong side there, wasn't he? And there was contact, there was a hand on his arm.
Well, that's the problem that you've got with the pace and the athleticism of the front line of Liverpool. They're so quick, they're so powerful. A slight little movement and they get in front of you quick as anything.
Yeah, 0-0. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. Andy Reid with us, Republic of Ireland international, former Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, to name but 3. Wolves playing it back to Totti Gomez, who missed 3 matches with the hamstring injury. Big loss. Oh, it's given away by Wolves. That's careless. But then won back by Lamina. Excellent work from him. And now Cunha takes it out to the right-hand side. Hits a long pass for Larson, but he's not going to get there, as Alisson, all in lilac, just shepherds it behind for a goal kick to Liverpool. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. Yes, you were at Walsall, weren't you, earlier?
Yeah, I went to watch Walsall v Colchester. Yeah, entertaining, plenty of goals.
Impressed with Walsall?
I thought they played really well. Yeah, probably after the first 20 minutes they were by far the better side, and scored some decent goals. Had some good players. Gone top of the league, I think, or up there anyway.
Liverpool taking this goal kick out from the back and then going all the way back to Alisson again. Also conscious that Celtic are going to be kicking off in the next few minutes. I don't think they've kicked off yet. St Johnstone is where Celtic are after Aberdeen won again earlier. Liverpool coming forward. Diaz right-footed ball, but Johnston comes for it. Wolves' new goalkeeper after his arrival from Crystal Palace comes forward and catches quite comfortably and unfussily outside the penalty area. Yet to win or keep a clean sheet for Wolves, but it's early days. Just his 4th appearance after his transfer. Played out from the back. Lamina now middle of the half. The captain turns, white bandage on his left knee, I notice. Lamina, nice from him, glides into the Liverpool half. João Gomez. Now here's Bellegarde, who's on the left hand side for the time being. Bellegarde taking on Alexander-Arnold, who's on the yellow card, curls it in over the top of Larson. In fact, he did get his head to it, but he was off balance and could only sort of cushion head it well wide of the far post on the stretch goal kick.
Yeah, he's having to stretch back for it. Really difficult to get any accuracy or to get any power on it. But again, more positivity for Wolves. Good play by Lamina. He's a nice footballer. He deals with the ball really well. Good turn in the middle of the pitch. He's broke forward. It's a switch out to the left hand side to Bellegarde, and that's the first time that we've really seen him get on the ball.
We're also keeping an eye on the rugby union matches underway. Northampton are 7-0 up on Exeter in the Premiership. Scarlets and Cardiff playing currently in the United Rugby Championship, as Salah can't keep the ball in on the halfway line, and it's a throw-in to Wolves. And also, just keeping, Andy, an eye on Bayern Munich against Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, which is just kicking off, which is, well, one of the matches across Europe this weekend.
What a game that is.
Big game.
It's tough,
isn't it? Just Bayern Munich, who will be here in the Midlands on Wednesday night. That's one of our Champions League commentaries. Aston Villa against Bayern Munich, 1982, all over again. Wolves with the ball at the back. Johnston, he's overhit that, and between them they've made a mess of that. Santiago Bueno and Johnston, who took a heavy touch, and actually that touch has taken it out for a corner to Liverpool.
Yeah, at times they just have to get the decision right. Are they playing through the lines? Are they trying to bounce into the 6, or are they going to miss out the 6 and they're going to play straight into the 9? I think there's a ball directly into Larsson. If they can just mix it up, they might get a little bit of joy, because Liverpool, as always, commit a lot of men to the press.
Problem with that, again, we see it in almost every game at every level. As soon as that starts, the jitters begin, don't they, in a match, when it gets in your head.
Especially where they are at the moment as well.
It doesn't help. Corner then for Liverpool, a cheap corner. Robertson to take this from the right hand side, takes it in low to the near post. It's worked back to the edge of the area. Gravenberch is there, then it comes back to Gravenberch again. Now McAllister inside the penalty area, crossing, but it comes off the shin of Ait-Nouri and behind into all of those faces in the Sir Jack Hayward stand, many of them in Wolves replica shirts. So it's another corner for Liverpool. Just over 15 minutes played here at Molineux on a lovely afternoon evening. 0-0 the score. Just a little touch of autumn in the temperature. Robertson takes this corner to Gravenberch, and now left-footed in from Robertson. Lovely delivery. It got a touch. I think it was a Wolves head in the end. Liverpool, perhaps 3 or 4 players were challenging for it. Bounced down, Wolves clear, and Lemina, though, as he runs it away, gives possession back to Liverpool on the halfway line. So Liverpool will start again from inside their own half. Lovely ball from Robertson, that.
Yeah, it was. They've had 2 corners there, and both of them they've taken short. I'm not sure whether they're thinking they might want to walk something. They might want to maybe create something a little bit shorter. But the delivery did come in the end from Robertson, and it was a good one. And Jota, like we just mentioned, his movement in the box is really good, and he's very alert.
Yeah, I noticed yesterday Robertson and Alexander-Arnold are level on 59 Premier League assists each in their Liverpool careers. Here's Ait-Nouri. Wolves now coming forward. Nice touch from Larsson. Bellegarde then goes back into his own half. You can hear the reaction from that. Wolves were going forward. That's not what they came to see, the home supporters.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to maybe just get a little bit of possession. You can't go forward every time, and one thing that you don't want to do is get into one of them basketball matches with Liverpool, because with the pace, power, athleticism that they've got and the quality on the break, it's difficult.
There you are, Wolves fans. Andy Reid, the voice of realism. And here's Cunha on the right hand side. As I say, Cunha on the right, Bellegarde on the left. Cunha's lost possession, but Andres won it back, and I thought he might have been fouled. Actually, referee Taylor says play on. Bellegarde then digs out a pass outside of his right boot to Ait-Nouri. Bellegarde's continued his run from centrally here to the left flank. Ait-Nouri now socks down his calves. Bellegarde takes on Konate, who's out in the full back position, and has been able to cut it back into the penalty area, but straight into the path of Alexander-Arnold, and Liverpool, a heavy pass, loses possession, and Andre, the other big summer arrival from Brazil, from Fluminense, Andre, the number 7, as Wolves have possession again on the halfway line, and the home crowd get behind them. They know they need this home support after the start to the season that they've had, knocked out of the Carabao Cup as well. Here is Cunha into the penalty area from the left-hand side, past Gravenberch, but Alexander-Arnold was able to get the tackle in on that, and Wolves have it again. This is promising again in an attacking sense from Wolves.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of pressure, and Cunha is coming in off that right-hand side. He's ending up at the 10. Sometimes he looks a little bit like a 9. He becomes really difficult to mark. He's made a lovely run into the channel there, and he was found by Totti. Nice little bit of footwork, just couldn't quite get the shot off.
Bellegarde, his attempted pass through the inside left position. Larsson was intercepted by one of those long Konate legs. Ait-Nouri now, ball at his feet. He's got Totti Gomez behind him. I think the other thing with Totti Gomez as well, who was not mentioned by Gary O'Neill in terms of being available for this match with the illness that Wolves have had. What we don't know is how many of these players potentially who are out there for Wolves have suffered from illness this week. There's a long ball from Santiago Bueno out towards the far side. Semedo chasing it, and he's been able to nip it back from Robertson, then plays it beyond the Liverpool defence. Semedo, his cross right over the penalty area. Alisson gets a hand to it. Cunha was chasing it, Bellegarde, edge of the area, into the box now. 2 Liverpool defenders with him. Back to Ait Nouri, puts his foot on it, clips it in. Larson, no! Van Dijk got there with the header for Liverpool. Oh, lost by Diaz on the edge of his own penalty area. Got the ball caught up underneath his own feet. Lemina takes it out to the far side, but Diaz, having lost it, chases after him. Lemina's done well. In comes the cross, but Konate is able to clear it away. Excellent pressuring from Wolves.
Yeah, and you can hear the crowd really getting behind them. They've been brilliant the last 5 minutes. They played some brilliant football. Liverpool can't really get out of their own defensive third, and they've created a couple of half chances. Can't quite manoeuvre that real big opening that they need. It was a brilliant defensive header by Virgil van Dijk. That's why, he's regarded as one of the best.
Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. After the dramatic events of the afternoon, with Manchester City drawing 1-1 at Newcastle, and Arsenal, I hope you were listening earlier, really dramatic finish, dramatic second half at Arsenal in our 3 o'clock commentary match, that Arsenal eventually won 4-2, having been pegged back to 2-2. Wolves now on the right hand side. In comes the shot from Cunha, right side of the penalty area, on his left foot. He went for goal from there, and Alisson made maybe I'd describe that as a juggling save at his near post, but he held on to it.
Yeah, I think that was one of them shots that sometimes, if somebody gets on the end of it, that the player claims that it was a cross. If it goes in, he claims it was a shot. It was kind of half and half, but again, more pressure, another attempt on goal, and Gary O'Neill will be really, really pleased with the first 20 minutes. They've had a couple of awkward moments, a couple of corners to defend. Other than that, they've been the dominant team. They've kept the ball particularly well.
I might have seen you do that as well, Andy, during the course of your career. Maybe I'm misremembering. Arne Slot has just called across Szoboszlai, so there's 1 or 2 instructions there from the new manager, who's spotted something. Wolves are asking questions of Liverpool, and the ball at the moment in the Wolves right back area. Semedo and Santiago Bueno. This time there's more certainty. It's a more assured keeping of possession in their own penalty area. Played out to Bellegarde, but Alexander-Arnold got a foot in on the ball. Szoboszlai now to the right hand side, clipped across from Salah, but onto the chest of Andre, who's able to take it down, and now he's bringing it forward powerfully, arms pumping. Cunha, Gravenberch is there. He's managed to just get a piece of the ball as he was chasing back, and in the end it's bounced out of play for a throw into Liverpool inside their own half. Good little example there, Andy, of the Gravenberch that we've seen for Liverpool this season.
Yeah, he's a good player. You know that he's a real strong player. He moves really well. He's good in the clinches, and I think he's got an eye for the defensive breakaways as well.
Warrington 4, St Helens 6 now. Commentary on Sports Extra. Still St Johnstone 0, Celtic 0. Northampton 10, Exeter 0. Latest scores: Liverpool, Alexander-Arnold with a little flick that has actually put the ball out of play. He was trying to just tap it back to Gravenberch. So throwing to Wolves 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. Wolves, who, just to underline it, the defensive problems, they've not kept a clean sheet since February in the Premier League. That was at Sheffield United, a 1-0 win at Sheffield United, who of course went on to be relegated. So that's 17 Premier League games without a clean sheet. That has to improve. Here's Semedo being pulled back. Semedo, in the end last season, finished 20 points clear of relegation, even though they finished up in 14th in the Premier League. But disappointing start. However, Gary O'Neill down there with any number of instructions, clapping his hands, pointing his finger. New contract last month, new 4-year contract. Here's João Gomez, Ait Nouri, nice again. In comes McAllister with a challenge to dispossess the left back. Now Liverpool break forward with the Hungarian Szoboszlai, who I think was fouled. Yeah, he was, by João Gomez. I think he just caught him on the side of the ankle or the side of the calf. Down he goes, free kick Liverpool.
You just feel that's going to be the way that Liverpool are going to get an opportunity. It's going to be a turnover. It's going to be breaking at that back line of Wolves. The clean sheets one is really, really interesting. There's a lot of research going into how many clean sheets and how many times you can only concede 1 goal and not more in the Premier League and kind of still stay in it. If a team scores more than 1 goal, it's very, very difficult for you to win the game. So the clean sheet's really important, but getting through a game and only conceding 1 goal, it gives you an opportunity then to still be in the game.
Andy Reid, part of the staff, shall we call you, at Nottingham Forest. So any number of facts and figures, I would have thought. Diaz into the penalty area, tries to pull it across, blocked, comes back to him. Diaz shoots again, and that is blocked away. Wolves had 4 players in front of him there. One of them deflected it well wide of the goal. So another corner for Liverpool. Luis Diaz with his 5 goals this season, 2 of them against Bournemouth last weekend. Corner.
He looks electric, doesn't he? He looks in really, really good form. He looks sharp, he looks hungry.
Yeah, wiry, isn't he? Strong, that sort of wiry strength. Alexander-Arnold just walks away over there into the corner where the Liverpool fans are in the lower section of the Steve Bull stand. And Alexander-Arnold, 25 minutes played, still 0-0, waiting to take this. It's a very congested 6-yard box that he's looking to drop this into, which he does to the near post. Actually didn't beat the first defender, Ait Nouri, who was able to head it away, and it bounces out of play for a throw into Liverpool over there on the far side. Were very successful scoring goals from set pieces last season, Liverpool in the Premier League. They've not scored one from a set piece in the Premier League yet this season. Here's Konate just forward of the centre circle. Konate now to Salah, puts his foot on the ball. Salah then just knocks it back very casually to Szoboszlai. Alexander-Arnold into the area with his pass, but Ait Nouri wins the header against McAllister. Ait Nouri comes again, bounces off him. Alexander-Arnold turns, and then back it goes towards the centre circle. Gravenberch square. Robertson now out to Diaz into the area, passed it. Robertson tried to work it across. It was blocked at source by Santiago Bueno and then played back. Had to be sharp there, Johnston, but he was to clear.
Oh, Lamine has passed it back from 3 yards out, and I was thinking, Johnson, please don't play through the lines here, just get rid of it.
Ederson would have done. Here's Diaz into the penalty area on the left hand side, and then in comes Semedo with the challenge to put it behind. It's another Liverpool corner. So Wolves have looked promising when they've come forward, but there's a little bit of pressure building on their defence here. This Wolves defence, who themselves have already conceded 4 goals from set pieces this season in the Premier League. So this is going to be outswinger from the left foot of Robertson, and Konate, no, didn't get a touch on that. Jumped for it, but it drifted beyond him and behind him. Out to Alexander-Arnold, his ball into the penalty area. Robertson takes this down, right-footed cross from him. Salah takes it down on the top of his left thigh, but he's forced out of the penalty area by Ait Nouri. Alexander-Arnold, left-footed ball in. A stooping Lamina heads that, bounces off Cunha. This is big Liverpool pressure now. Gravenberch, feels like Wolves are going to do well to withstand this. Diaz, still 0-0. Szoboszlai, it's on the right now. Alexander-Arnold swings it in all the way across the 6-yard box. Jota in the middle, stretching for it. There was a defender there with him as well. I think it was Andre actually. It wasn't. It was Santiago Bueno who was back in there. And between them, Jota couldn't get a touch, and it's a goal kick, and it's still 0-0, and they've survived for the time being.
2 brilliant balls by Trent Alexander-Arnold. First one was from the second phase, and it was right in at the back post with Andy Robertson.
Right, let's see how things have started at McDermott Park. It was a 5:45 kick-off in the Premiership with you, Gavin Wallace.
Sir Johnson 0, Celtic 0, John. And just before you came to me, great ball in from Alistair Johnston. Kyogo got himself to a really dangerous area, just like 7 yards outside the box, but Jack Sanders managed to defend well. Sir Johnson 0, Celtic 0.
Celtic, who've made, of course, a great winning start to the season, but Aberdeen, Andy, winning again today, 2-1 at Dundee, won 12 out of 12 this season.
Yeah, they've been brilliant. I think it's really good somebody else is challenging the old firm this season.
Here's Liverpool now. Szoboszlai, Jota is able to work it. Szoboszlai plays it back, and now McAllister turns it over there to the left hand side to Robertson. Diaz in position on the balls of his feet in those orange boots, tried to cut it back to the edge of the Andre in on the challenge there on McAllister. He dived in, and to my view there, seeing it once, he seemed to dive in with both feet when he did get the ball, but Anthony Taylor has blown the whistle, and of course that's what he's saying. He's saying, I've got the ball, but he went in there, not seen it again yet, but with force on McAllister, who is down, and he's pointing at his right calf, so there must be probably a stud mark or something on there. and a yellow card for him.
Yeah, I think it's probably the right decision. He loses the ball just a little bit and overstretches, maybe a little bit harsh, because he does get quite a bit on the ball. But you know, if you think about maybe 15 years ago, that wouldn't be a free kick. It'd be, you know, you continue. But now it's a free kick and it's a booking. So just the way the game has gone.
Diving in, pulled one foot out the way, went in with 1 foot and made contact, but good contact with the top of the ball.
He was just chasing his own touch. His touch just got away with him a little bit, and he just went over just a tiny bit.
I'm like you, Andy. I think, yeah, yellow card. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think anything more.
In the current era.
Yeah, I don't think anything more. Definitely not.
Wolves 0, Liverpool 0, but a free kick for Liverpool. So this is dangerous. Szoboszlai, Salah is there as well, and of course Alexander-Arnold, who is the man currently leaning over the ball and just placing it. That usually gives it away, I think, Andy, whoever places the ball when they do it like that.
Yeah, I think it'll be Alexander-Arnold, all right.
It's got to be. From the angle, and this is a big chance. Free kick, 0-0. Liverpool, if they win, they'll go top. Salah actually flicks it. Alexander-Arnold with a shot through the wall, perhaps round the wall, but straight at Johnston. And the England goalkeeper Sam Johnson just scoops it up and holds it securely.
Yeah, he held it well. There was players following in. Sometimes them ones can be a little bit tricky. They skid off the surface. There was decent pace on it, so Johnson's done well there.
Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. Bayer Leverkusen have taken the lead against Bayern Munich. So the champions winning 1-0. Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen against Bayern Munich, who've made a roaring start, haven't they, with Harry Kane in the goals and Vincent Kompany the manager. But Bayer Leverkusen winning 1-0 in Munich. Here is Szoboszlai for Liverpool. Now to Salah on the right hand side. Ait Nouri plays it off Salah and it bounces away. Cheers from the home supporters. Believe it or not, Mo Salah has not scored in his last 7 appearances at Molineux. Scored the first time he played here, not scored here since.
It's unbelievable.
He's not got a record like that in too many places.
Yeah.
I don't think.
You know, this, although we haven't had a goal yet, I think it's been a really enjoyable game. I think the tempo's been good. I think Wolves have had periods where they've been on top and they've put Liverpool under pressure. Maybe the last 5 minutes it's just swung a little bit and Liverpool have had a little bit of pressure, maybe settled down. But I think Gary O'Neill overall will be pretty happy with the opening, 32 minutes or so, and Arne Slot will probably feel that Liverpool have to do a little bit more.
5 Live, BBC Sounds as well. You can listen to 5 Live, all live BBC radio through BBC Sounds if you're on the move. It is Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Liverpool 0. Coming into this 6th round of Premier League matches, Wolves were the team with the joint worst defensive record. Liverpool were the team with the best defensive record in the opening 5 matches. Just the one goal that they've conceded in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest's winning goal at Anfield a couple of weeks ago. Here is Robertson on the left-hand side. Arne Slot just making a couple of changes from last weekend in the Premier League, but 10 changes from the side that started against West Ham and won so well in the Cup in midweek. Just Diogo Jota starting those 2 matches. Here is Konate forward towards Alexander-Arnold, back to the halfway line. Discussion continuing this week after Alexander-Arnold spoke in the media about what comes next for him and if he's going to sign this new contract, out of contract at the end of the season. Did talk about his ambition of captaining Liverpool. Here's the ball into Jota outside the penalty area. Lemina, and then Jota caught Lemina, and referee Taylor has brought that back for the free kick. And I think the home supporters feel that after Andre was booked, that maybe Jota should be shown a yellow card for that.
It's not a booking. No. We have to be able to tackle in the game. It's a contact sport. We have to be able to tackle. You don't get all of them tackles right. Not every foul is a booking.
And Anthony Taylor, if he got to 3 bookings in the, 35th minute, then the total's beginning to rise, isn't it? So he's decided no. So Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. Tommy Doyle is just warming up. So I wonder if Lemina might actually have a problem.
No, Jota has caught him with his studs down, and it's gone down the back of his leg a little bit. I think it was unintentional.
Oh, what's happened there? A yellow card has come out for Jota. Well, he thought about that.
He's given himself a bit of time there, hasn't he? I mean, he's not allowed to have any influence from the fourth official.
No, not on yellow cards.
It seemed a long time though.
It did, and there's a yellow card as well for a member of the Wolves, a member of the Liverpool coaching staff. I don't think it was for Slot. So there we are. That's another one. So that's 4.
He's racking them up, Anthony, isn't he?
We'll wait to be advised who it was who was shown that latest yellow card. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. We'll round everything up for you. It was Sean Derry who was yellow carded. So it was actually Sean Derry of Wolves who got the yellow card for something that he must have said to Darren England, who's the fourth official. So Sean Derry, who was no stranger to a yellow card in his career.
I was just about to say, having played with Sean, I thought his days of yellow cards were done. Obviously not.
No. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. So the free kick, Lamina is continuing, although he's not moving freely just yet. So we'll keep an eye on him. Johnston takes this free kick downfield. Here's Larsson, looking to his left. Ait Nouri's left-footed cross over the top of the arriving Lamina and scooped up cleanly by Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper, who is the subject of a lengthy, in-depth interview with Joe Hart this week. So now the BBC's Joe Hart, as he is now, interviewing Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper. I haven't heard it myself. I'm told it's very good. It's on Football Focus today, and there's actually a Football Daily special. So a Football Daily special that you can hear right now on BBC Sounds. And apparently there were 2 yellow cards shown to the coaches. Sipka Hulshoff, one of Arne Slot's coaches, was also yellow carded. So that's 2 for the coaches, 3 for players. That's 5 yellow cards in total. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. And 1 or 2 grey clouds appearing over Molineux, but still bright sunshine. So it's that autumnal evening light that we have here around Molineux with all of the old gold. So the ball is headed on into the Liverpool half. Robertson turns, sends a high ball up through the middle towards Jota. Jota trying to get it down, he's worked it forward, but Andre is challenged by Diaz into the penalty area, but then it ran away from him as Totti Gomez came in with a challenge. That could have easily been an opening. I must say, I thought it was going to get brought back for a foul for Wolves on the edge of the area or inside the area, but it wasn't given. Liverpool back in possession on the halfway line, still goalless here. Van Dijk now just leaning forward and passing the ball out towards the left-hand side. Diaz into the penalty area, ball still rolling, puts his foot on it. Lamina in front of him, Robertson's there as well. Robertson goes back to Van Dijk. Wolves have got everyone back behind the ball. Now Luis Diaz, little tap with his right foot to Robertson. Now back to Diaz, infield towards the Dutchman, Gravenberch. His fellow countryman Van Dijk receives it from him. Now Liverpool go through the middle, but Wolves are very much in position, and in fact Liverpool in the end lose it, and Semedo is able to play it forward for Larsson, who won't reach that, and Liverpool have got it back inside their own half.
Well, I think one of the criticisms of Liverpool when Forest beat them a couple of weeks ago is that they struggled to break down that low block when Forest got enough men behind the ball, and similar patterns just emerge in the last maybe 3 or 4 minutes here. Wolves have got plenty of men behind the wall, everybody in fact, and Liverpool are just struggling to break them down.
They are. Here's Robertson though with his ball whipped across. There's Szoboszlai! Oh, what a block from Johnston on the goal line. Szoboszlai arriving, and he couldn't have been any more than maybe 4 or 5 yards out, and Johnston on the line got something on it and blocked it, and the ball skewed away at an angle wide of the post, much to Haven Wolves' relief.
Well, just as I said, that Van Dijk slipped a lovely ball into Andy Robertson, who whipped it right across the 6-yard box. Defenders couldn't go near it for fear of putting her in their own goal. Szoboszlai, he arrives timing perfectly. What a save.
Corner from Robertson. Van Dijk stretching. No, it's headed away for Wolves. Diaz nods it back to Alexander-Arnold near the centre circle, and Alexander-Arnold has a goal from distance, but it wobbled well wide of the goal and behind by probably 5 or 6 yards. He saved it with his left calf, I think. Well, Sam Johnstone, I'm not sure how much he knew about it, but he was in the right place.
Well, I just think keepers, they try and make themselves as big as they possibly can. It's really difficult for a keeper to save something in that, and it's just clipped the back of his heel and gone off. Slabasai will be disappointed that he hasn't scored, and Slot will be disappointed in him. He should have took that away.
That could easily have ended up in the back of the net, even after the touch that it got off the... I think the left calf of Sam Johnstone, almost on the line, and the ball shot off at a right angle and just rolled wide of the post and behind. So that is clearly by a distance the best chance of the match so far. Didn't end up in the net, so it's still 0-0. Bayern Munich have equalised against Bayer Leverkusen. Pavlovic has made it 1-1 in Munich. And as I say, that match, the Aston Villa Bayern Munich game, that is on Wednesday night. So commentary on 5 Live. All of the British clubs in the Champions League, you'll hear commentaries, coverage of all of the games, commentary on Tuesday night. Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain, and Liverpool, who will on Wednesday night be at home to one of the new boys in the Champions League, the Italians, Bologna. So we'll have that covered for you as well.
Villa Park will be rocking for that game, won't it?
Andy, I have to say, I've ringed that one of the matches that I'm going to be at in these opening months of the season. I think that will be, well, I hope it'll be a very special night. I thought that when I went to Manchester City Inter the other week, and it proved to be a big disappointment. So
I thought it was an excellent game, though. That game, I thought tactically it was really good. Yes. It's probably one of the games that I enjoyed the most as a 0-0 game, no goals.
There was a lot in it for the tacticians.
No, I thought it was brilliant. I thought Inter were incredible.
Yeah, they were, and actually they did what Arsenal then had to do last Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a framework, still really, really difficult to do.
There has been an opening goal in the St Johnstone Celtic match. Gavin Wallace.
There has been, and it's for Celtic. Brendan Rodgers wanted a Champions League type performance ahead of Tuesday, and he's getting it so far. Dazen Maeda was the man to stick it home. It was another ball over the top. St Johnstone at sea defending, and it is St Johnstone 0, Celtic 1.
It is with Celtic going to Germany to play the Champions League runners-up Borussia Dortmund. Here Wolves come 0-0 here in the Premier League. Bellegarde on the right-hand side into the penalty area, tried to work it across with his left foot, but it was blocked, I think, by McAllister, and then swept in from the right-hand side. Larsson heads it across the box and cleared away by Szoboszlai. Good ball in from the right, and then Lemina has bundled over Diaz, and that is a free kick. And I think Lemina was potentially away there.
This is the thing that kind of disappoints me, and that you get a little bit annoyed about. It's inconsistency. That is definitely a booking. If he doesn't make that foul, then Diaz is breaking away. It's most definitely a booking. But Anthony Taylor's thinking, well, I've booked a few people already in this game, and maybe I need to leave this one. But it just makes it inconsistent then, and that's the thing that frustrates. That frustrates players, it frustrates coaches, frustrates managers.
Or will he? Because Lemina, after putting in the challenge, has gone down again, and this could be a problem in terms of his further participation in the match. Diaz would have been away there. He was inside his own half, but Liverpool were on the counter-attack, and just looking down at the Wolves bench, Gary O'Neill, I think, is asking, is Lemina, is his captain going to be able to continue? Where is Doyle now? He's not on the side of the pitch, is he? But I don't see him getting himself ready. So I think Lemina, yeah, he's on his feet, and he runs away, doesn't look at Anthony Taylor. He runs away, keeps his back to the referee, and it looks as though he has, in inverted commas, got away with it.
From a Wolves perspective, they won't want him to come off. He's a really, really important player for them. He's a terrific player, really good.
Maybe Celtic are not in front. Gavin?
That is correct, John. The goal's been chalked off. A quick VAR check suggests that Liam Carey was fouled in the build-up to the goal. So, St Johnstone 0, Celtic 0.
So still 0-0 at McDermott Park after Craig Levine's recent departure. Here's Konate for Liverpool, Van Dijk. Lemina's now asking to come back onto the field. Wolves currently with 10 men. Still hasn't been signalled back on. And the home supporters don't like this. It must be 30 seconds, surely. McAllister playing his square, he's given it away. The 10 men could be off on the counter-attack here. Lemina sprints back onto the field. 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Here's Cunha into the full-back position. Wolves have got 2 men. Liverpool got 2 men on him. Goes past Konate. Might have been shoved over there. Referee doesn't give the free kick. Alexander-Arnold, long pass from him. Salah, that is a brilliant touch from Salah to take it away from Totti Gomez, who recovers into his own penalty area. Well recovered. Totti Gomez, as we've said, I'm not sure whether he has been able to train much this week. Gary O'Neill will be able to answer that later, but what a recovering challenge that was to put it behind for a corner against Salah.
Yeah, after a couple of minutes where it went a little bit quiet, 2 really good pieces of play. Cunha down the left hand side here for Wolves, and on the right hand side, incredible touch by Salah. He took it down brilliantly, second touch away from the defender, and Totti done brilliant to get back. It was a really, really good challenge.
Yeah, great touch, because the defender was close to him. He was almost on the white line. Here is the corner then. Robertson into the near post and swept away by the left instep of Ait Nouri to the halfway line. Wolves clear it, still 0-0. Mark Chapman will round up everything that's happened so far today in the top sport. During the half-time break, we'll be hearing various interviews of the main participants. Here's Gravenberg turning onto his left foot and giving it to Jota, who's out there on the left-hand side. Jota takes on Larson. Left-footed cross from him. Konate heads it down and in! And Liverpool take the lead in added time at the end of the first half. That's the goal they've been after, and it's Konate who has scored for the second time this season, the central defender. And Liverpool have their eyes on the top of the table, winning 1-0 here against Wolves at Molineux.
Lovely piece of play down the left hand side from Jota. We're all expecting him to come inside on his right foot, but he goes outside on his left foot, and then does he have the quality to put it in? Does he? Oh, that was brilliant. What a cross he puts in with his left foot. Put it on a play for Konate, who headed it down, and unfortunately for Johnson that time he got a touch on it, but not enough to keep it out. There has been a bit of pressure building over the last couple of minutes, but Wolves would be disappointed to concede in that manner.
Yeah, lovely cross arriving 6 yards out. He was up, I think it was Santiago Bueno he was up against. Headed it down. Yeah, Johnson got a touch. It was over Bueno actually. And then
did Johnson do a bit better?
Possibly. 6 yards out, downward header.
Yeah, it's difficult. Maybe being a bit harsh, but I thought he got a decent. Yeah, what I do like is the bravery from Liverpool. They put the corner into the box, they recycled the play, but they kept all of the big players in the box. Fully believing that the quality that they've got, that they'll have a good ball coming into the box, and Jota delivered that, but they get rewarded for keeping them players up there.
And there we go. It's now going to be 18. Well, it is 18 Premier League matches in a row that Wolves have failed to keep a clean sheet, and Liverpool leading through. His scoring record is odd. Konate, when he scored his first goals for Liverpool, 3 of them came one after the other. Then he'd not scored for 2 years. Then he scored in Milan, in the San Siro against Milan in the Champions League in the first round of matches, and now here he is scoring in the Premier League. So 1-0 Liverpool lead. Wolves 0, Liverpool 1, with the goal coming in the second minute of added time, and the 4 minutes that were indicated are now up. Here is Bellegarde. Wolves searching for an equaliser before the break, but Bellegarde's pass cut out by Salah. Diaz now bringing it forward. Diaz does well, works the ball infield between 2 Wolves players. Salah gives it back to Diaz. He has a look to see where Jota is. Salah also arriving in the penalty area. Diaz just slows it down though and plays it back to Gravenberg, and then back towards the halfway line to the goal scorer, Ibrahima Konate. The French international just puts his foot on the ball, and that's it. There we are. Liverpool on a slot, turns, hands in his pockets, white rims to his black soft shoes, walks off down the tunnel, and Liverpool with that goal, they're on course to go top of the Premier League, on course to make it 4 wins out of 4 away from home. under Arne Slot's management. 1-0.
Yeah, I think Wolves have played okay at times. Probably haven't had any cutting edge. Can't really remember too many really good chances. Liverpool look dangerous when they turn over the ball. What Wolves need to do now is dust themselves down. You know, that goal is gone. They need to come back out firing in the second half. They can't let it affect. You spoke about Lamina talking about mentality. Now is the time when you can't let the mentality slip. You have to galvanise, pull everybody together, come back out in the second half firing, because there could be something in this game for them yet.
Yeah, just watching as well Sam Johnson's body language, just watching him as he left the field, you know, the way that he looked, the way he was talking. I think the Wolves goalkeeping coach, he looked like a man that felt that he should, or perhaps might well have kept that out.
Yeah, I know it was only 6 yards out, and it is difficult and things happen really quick, but a keeper of his ability and of his quality, he got a decent hand on it, but he just couldn't get enough to keep it out, and I think he did look disappointed. But again, for him as well, he's an important player for this team. He's going to have to defend, he's going to have to pull off saves for them in the second half, so he needs to get himself together and make sure that his mentality is strong for the second half.
Yeah, having earlier of course made a very good save against Szoboszlai. But there we are, half time here at Molineux. Wolves 0, Liverpool 1.
And there's been an opening goal now, we think, for real at St Johnstone. Gavin Wallace.
I can absolutely confirm that, Mark. Yes, St Johnstone 0, Celtic 1. It was a ball along the left-hand side. Kyogo again in great space. He took it down and just blasted it well beyond the St Johnstone goalkeeper. St John's 0, Celtic 1.
Thank you. In the Super League playoff this evening, remember Lee beat Salford last night. It is Warrington 10, St Helens 16 at half-time. Liverpool winning at Wolves, that will take them top of the Premier League table. Earlier, Manchester City drew 1-1 at Newcastle, and Anthony Gordon penalty in the second half, getting a point for Eddie Howe's side. Arsenal were 2-0 up at half-time, and then level at 2-2 against Leicester going into second half injury time. But they got 2 goals in injury time and they won 4-2. Brentford West Ham finished 1-1. Brentford scoring inside the opening 60 seconds for the third match running. That's a Premier League record. 6 goals all in the first half at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea beating Brighton 4-2. All the goals for Chelsea coming from Cole Palmer. Everton came from a goal down to beat Crystal Palace 2-1. Dwight McNeil getting both of those goals. Fulham won 1-0 at Nottingham Forest. West Brom stayed top of the table in the Championship despite losing 3-2 at Sheffield Wednesday. Sunderland also beaten today 2-1 at Watford. Birmingham top of League One after coming from 2-0 down at home to Peterborough to win 3-2. Wrexham held to a 0-0 draw at Leyton Orient. Gillingham beat Barrow 2-0 in a battle of the top 2 at the start of the day. Walsall have gone into second after a 4-0 win over Colchester. Reaction to some of the day's Premier League football to come after Jill Mackenzie in the news at 6:23.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Premier League.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Israel has carried out further airstrikes on Beirut just hours after Hezbollah confirmed the death of its leader, Hassan Nasrallah, in an attack yesterday. The Iranian-backed group described him as a martyr and vowed to continue its battle against Israel in support of the Palestinians and in defence of Lebanon. An Israeli military spokesman said Nasrallah was responsible for the murder of many Israelis and that his elimination made the world a safer place. But our security correspondent Frank Gardner says the attack has put the entire region at a tipping point.
This could go one of two ways. It could force some kind of a ceasefire deal, but that would be seen as capitulation by Hezbollah, and they're in no mood for that. Or Hezbollah could up the ante. They've still got a lot of very powerful long-range precision-guided missiles buried in tunnels. They could launch these at Tel Aviv and other cities, and they could potentially partially overwhelm Israel's Iron Dome air defences. But to do that would almost certainly drag in Iran and the United States, and Israel's retaliation against Lebanon would be catastrophic.
President Biden said Hassan Nasrallah's killing was a measure of justice for his many victims, but US efforts to de-escalate the conflict would continue. Iran's supreme leader has declared 5 days of mourning for his ally. and vowed his death will not go unavenged. There's more on this on the BBC website and on the BBC News live audio stream on BBC Sounds. And some breaking news this evening. The Canterbury MP, Rosie Duffield, has resigned from the Labour Party and will sit as an independent. She's accusing the Prime Minister of pursuing cruel and unnecessary policies, like the two-child benefit cap and means testing winter fuel payments for pensioners in England and Wales.
If you love your pop, this is right up your street.
Pop Top 10 with Scott and Rylan.
We've picked some of the most hotly contested questions of all time and decided to settle them once and for all with the help of some special guests. We're taking it very seriously.
I can't let things like that slide on this show.
No, come on!
What are you on about?
Don't put words into my mouth.
I won't, darling, just spatting them yourself.
Search Pop Top 10 to listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport.
With Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Second half from Molineux on the way, where Liverpool scored on the stroke of half-time to go 1-0 up against Wolves. More live sports come later from 10 tonight. We've got more live boxing as Rhiannon Dixon defends her WBO Women's Lightweight World title against Terry Harper in Sheffield. Right, reaction from the day's Premier League football. Now Manchester United drawing 1-1 at Newcastle in the early game. Arsenal looked like they might do the same at home to Leicester until they scored in the 94th and 99th minutes to secure a 4-2 victory over Leicester. Here's Mikel Arteta.
Profoundly happy, very emotional, much more emotional than probably we should be. But this is the beauty of this unbelievable game, that obviously at 2-0 and with the amount of situations, the chances we created, it should have been very different. Football puts you in that position, 1.5 shots, they score 2 goals, and now what? And what I loved is about the reaction, the personality, the courage, and the emotional control that the team showed to continue to do the right things, be patient at the same time. Don't feel sorry for yourself about what was happening and give an unbelievable belief right to the end to win it.
Theo Walcott's doing Match of the Day tonight, and he's just been on 5 Live, and he says he got a belief that Arsenal was going to score. He said he just can feel it coming. He said, you've built this into this team, so how have you done it?
Yeah, absolutely, and I can feel it. And obviously the crowd is a massive contributor to that, you know. They bring certain energy. Ethan came on, something changed straight away, and the team has that belief because they understand that to win in any context, you have to be able to react in the right way, and I was so pleased to see the team react in the way that they did today.
And just a word on the start to the season. You've had some really tricky away matches, but a win today, you're sort of sitting there at the top. But what have you made of the start to the season that you've had?
Well, again, really proud, especially for the way the team is reacting to a lot of things that obviously they were on the paper and they are very unexpected. It was a really tough fixture schedule, but on top of that, it got really nasty with the amount of injuries and situations that we have to deal with, but the team is doing really, really well.
That was Mikel Arteta with George Cummins. Steve Cooper, of course, was heckled by Leicester's fans after they just got through in the League Cup with Walsall on Tuesday, going through on penalties. So here he is on today's display.
Disappointing with the way the game's ended. No doubt a tough first half, and you know that you're not going to have as much as the ball as Arsenal, and you're going to have to suffer in the game, but we ended up having to suffer too much in the first half. There's no doubt about that in terms of territory, and could have looked after the ball better than what we did. You know, you'll probably look at Arsenal's goals and say good goals, and they are, but they're from typical sort of Arsenal moves with a cutback. So that that was disappointing. But we sort of encouraged the lads. Obviously, we looked at the tactical ideas and what the game needed at half time, but we encouraged the guys, and it was about mentality and sticking to the task. And boy, we did that, and got back in the game. 2 good goals, particularly the second one, right off a move that we work on a lot, that we're trying to do tactically, so that was really pleasing. And then again, we're under pressure again, but I really felt when we'd see us through. I was standing there thinking we're going to see this through, and to then, I know Arsenal had a lot of corners and they're good at them, and on large we dealt with them really well, so then to get a deflected one right at the end is tough.
At Stamford Bridge, Cole Palmer got all 4 for Chelsea as they beat Brighton 4-2. Here he is with Mark Scott.
Cole, 4 goals. Should you have had more?
Yeah. Should have had 5 or 6.
but it's life.
The first player to score 4 goals in the first half of a Premier League match, and the records keep on coming for you. Just talk me through how that half went for you personally, because for us it was a bit of a crazy watch.
Yeah, when I missed the first chance, I was upset, but I thought the way they played and how high the line was, we would get more chances, and we got a lot more chances, and I just took
The records just keep on tumbling. At the moment, your confidence must be absolutely sky high.
Yeah, I just try to play every game best as I can, and hopefully pull off performances like that today.
Theo Walcott's doing Match of the Day tonight. He's been saying that he thinks there's a bit of Dennis Bergkamp about the way that you play. How do you feel about that sort of analysis?
Yeah, I know he's a legend of the Premier League, but I didn't really watch him. I think I was too young. But
makes me feel old.
I've seen clips and stuff, so yeah, he's a top player, but thank you, Theo Walcott.
I don't think Theo's going to get a mention in every interview between now and the second half, but let's see. Everton coming from behind to beat Crystal Palace 2-1. That's their first league win of the season. Here's Sean Dyche.
The turnaround's important as well, because we've been questioning about that. It's not easy to turn around football matches, but we've done that well. And I thought we saw the game through pretty well, actually. Tactically, the way the team performed, the gaps were tight, winning first contacts, winning second balls. Had a couple of breakaways which would have killed the game off, I'm sure, but unfortunately we didn't capitalise. But I'm just pleased for the players. They put a lot of effort in, and particularly second half when we had a chat with them at half time, corrected a few things in kind of more the feel of the performance, and then stepping into the second half and playing strong to make sure we win.
Sean, how big a relief is it to get that first win, and what can it do now for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I'm pleased for the players as well, pleased for all of us and pleased for the fans. They've been waiting too long considering the positions we've been in to win games, but it's come again. We've corrected it, we've done very well today, and that's important, but it's only one step. The steps here, they last about 3 days, and then everyone's saying, why haven't you done this and why haven't you done that? That's the demand of the club, and I've said that to the players. I said, look, there's a really high demand here. You've got to grow, particularly the new players. You've got to grow into the demand. You've got to learn to understand. I certainly have in my 21 odd months. No matter what the storyline is here, go and win. So that is the key to it. So we have to have a mentality when everyone is playing hard all of the time. And I thought that was on show, particularly the second half.
Celtic have scored 3 times in the final 10 minutes of the first half. So 2 of them for Furuhashi and Bernardo with 1 sandwiched in between. And it's St Johnstone 0, Celtic 3 as they approach the break there. Back to the Premier League, and Brentford scored inside the first minute for the 3rd consecutive game. Here's Thomas Frank with Vicky Sparks.
I have to start with the early goal. You've done it again. 22 seconds, 23 seconds, and now 38 seconds. I mean, what is the secret to this?
I can't tell you. It must be a world record. 3 games in a row under 40 seconds. That's unbelievable. We of course we had a plan again. Of course you can't say it was after the kickoff, but I think it's a mindset of playing forward. Get on top of the game straight away, try to produce a cross, another cross, and an unbelievable goal. So very pleased with that.
Yeah, you are the first team in Premier League history to score in 3 consecutive games inside the first minute.
It must also be worldwide. You need to get your stats right. You need to check it next time, not only compared to the Premier League. Okay.
Yes, football definitely started before the Premier League. So yes, we'll give you that. And you mentioned it there, but in all of those records, sometimes the goal itself doesn't get spoken about enough because it was a brilliant strike from Brian Mbeumo.
Brian is on fire. No doubt about that. He's been really good for us and carrying the team in many ways, producing goals, working hard, creating opportunities. Very pleased with him. Overall, it's impressive. I think he got 5 goals now for the winger striker-ish. So he's improving so much.
Brentford fans might want to talk to Chris and Robbie about Brian Mbeumo. Who knows? What do you want people to talk to you about, Chris?
Football, Mark.
Do you?
Yes, we do. At the moment,
maybe. Do you think they might want to talk to you? Derby fans might want to talk to you about how Norwich are allowed to play on a pitch that's a yard bigger.
Oh, come on! Well, that's a good debate. There's many people in the Championship who don't want VAR. Derby fans want to hear from you this evening. Do you want?
Did you think
VAR
both those balls went out for the Norwich goals?
Well, not think. I mean, there was clear evidence that both balls went out, and Derby's second goal should have been disallowed as well.
I thought you'd balance it up.
Well, not quite balanced it, but I think it's a really good debate. The first one, I don't know how the assistant got that one wrong. Josh Sargent was nearly in the stand at Pride Park when he pulled it back. But that's an interesting debate, that, because a lot of people in the Premier League who watch Premier League teams don't like VAR. Here's another one, Mark. Set piece Arsenal, they left it late. Is it written in the stars this season for Arsenal to win the Premier League? No Rodri at Manchester City. I'm not saying the wheels are off, but a couple of draws now. Pep didn't start Foden again, so I want to hear from Manchester City and Arsenal fans and all the Everton doubters, the Dyche doubters. They'll be quiet this evening, won't they? Everton came from behind, and Cole Palmer, 4 goals in the first half. What a player he is. I mean, I only scored 1 at Chelsea in about 50 games, and he gets 4.5. How selfish is he? So brilliant from him. What a player. Where can Chelsea finish this season? Is it possible that Chelsea could challenge for the Premier League title, Mark? What do you think? 08085 909 693.
Wondered whether we were getting the number. Second half about to get underway, so unfortunately I can't answer any of Chris's questions. Here are Andy Reid and John Murray.
Yeah, thank you. There's the whistle from Anthony Taylor, and it's Wolves who get the second half underway, just beginning. Darkness closing in here in the Black Country. The floodlights are on. Wolves 0, Liverpool 1. And I guess the question is, Wolves, with their level of confidence at the moment, are they capable of coming back from behind against Liverpool? I thought Salah might have been pulled back there by Ait-Nouri, but Wolves in the gold shirts, black shorts, gold socks against Liverpool in the all red kit with the white trim. Wolves in possession inside their own half. Bellegarde just giving it back to Semedo. No changes at the break, so Wolves with Johnston in goal, Semedo, Santiago Bueno and Totti Gomez, as Semedo is fouled by Diaz. So at the back, Semedo, Santiago Bueno, Totti Gomez and Ait-Nouri. Mosquera out for the rest of the season. Craig Dawson not involved today because of the illness that's been around for Wolves this week. Then Joao Gomez, Mario Lemina is okay after the couple of knocks that he took. He's out for the second half. And Andre, then Bellegarde and Cunha playing wide, and Larson through the middle. Liverpool with Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Gravenberch and McAllister with Szoboszlai, Salah, Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota. So 1-0, Liverpool leading through the headed goal just before half-time from Ibrahima Konate, as the ball is passed back to Johnston, who controls it and then clears it out of play on the halfway line. Andy Reid is with me, former Republic of Ireland international. So Liverpool are where they want to be, Andy.
Yeah, I think so. It was a big goal for them at the end of the half, a bit of a killer blow for Wolves, so they need to make sure that they keep the focus. They're not out of the game, they played all right, but for Liverpool, they'll just draw Wolves onto them, and they'll really look to hit them and get the second and third and try and wrap it up. But it's been an interesting game, quite competitive. I think Wolves have just lacked a little bit of cutting edge in that penalty area.
Yes, they have. Wolves, bottom of the table, have to go to Brentford next week, as Ait-Nouri couldn't keep the ball in, according to the assistant on the far side. He's not Cunha, it is, who's not very happy about it, as he took the ball on, but the throw-in was given by the assistant. So Liverpool have it inside their own half. Yeah, got to go to Brentford next weekend, who made a decent half. We just heard from Thomas Frank, 1-1 against West Ham today. Then at home to Manchester City, as this really difficult early season run of fixtures continue. But if they lose today, that'll be 3 home defeats out of 3 in the Premier League for Wolves, facing the prospect of Manchester City coming here next. Wolves, though, through the middle. They haven't lost this yet. Here is Joao Gomez up to the edge of the penalty area. The covering challenge comes in. It was Jota, actually, who was able to move alongside him. Bellegarde now on the right-hand side. Might have been pulled back. Bellegarde got the cross in, but was off balance. Jota putting in the challenge straight into the outside netting goal kick.
He had 2 men around him there. I thought he could have just come back out, recycled to see if they could sustain the attack a little bit. He puts a pretty weak cross in under quite a bit of pressure.
Lacked conviction. 3 minutes played in the second half. As we heard from Chris Sutton, lines are open for 606. So get in touch to talk to Robbie Savage and Chris on 606 08 085 909 693 is the number to ring. Hashtag BBC 606 to get involved. Text 85058. Much more on the day's football happenings on the BBC Sport website and app. Highlights, match of the day tonight and in the morning and anytime on iPlayer, and the 5 Live Football Daily podcast in the morning from BBC Sounds. Here's Alexander-Arnold after Liverpool win a free kick centre field. Here's Salah on the right hand side. Salah with the 4 goals that he scored this season. Salah into Alexander-Arnold. Salah chips it back over the top for Alexander-Arnold's run, who volleys it across, but straight into the gloves of goalkeeper Johnston, who was standing at the near post, and then just trots out with it towards the edge of the penalty area. And the choice of listening, the Super League Eliminator, is on Sports Extra right now, and the latest score is Warrington 10, St Helens 16. Lamina, oh, he's given it away. Salah, oh, shoots wide. He tried to pass it, he didn't look, tried to pass it to Totti Gomez. He passed it straight to Salah, who went for goal first time, but shot across and wide.
Well, Lamina's played a blind pass. As good as he's been today, that was really poor. He hasn't looked, he hasn't seen Salah. Johnson was out of his goal. Salah's decided to take it first time, and he wasn't far away at all.
That, you don't dice with danger much more dangerously than that. To give the ball to Salah in that position, he probably could have taken a touch, but he went with a first-time effort. Fortunately for Wolves, it's still 0-1. João Gomez, though, advancing to the edge of the penalty area, tried to play it across, but Alexander-Arnold didn't have enough on it. Tried to pass it to Cunha. Alexander-Arnold sprinted back across and intercepted on the slide.
Yeah, weighted pass just wasn't quite there. It was a good recovery run from Salah. The game has opened up quite a bit. We've got Liverpool on the attack now.
It has. World Cup winner McAllister carrying it forward for Liverpool, gives it to his left to Diaz. Here's Robertson in the box. Robertson's ball across, that was pushed away by Sam Johnson, who went down, fists up, deflected it back out here to the left-hand side, where it bounces out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool. Could easily have resulted in a chance.
Yeah, I just think Wolves need to be careful here. They don't want to get too stretched. They're still in the game. There's plenty of time left. They hopefully will build some pressure as the half moves on. But if they give away another one, that you think it'll be pretty much game over. So you'd be just saying, just calm down. Make sure you've got enough numbers behind the ball. You don't get caught too much on transition, and you build your way into the second half.
We're going to see a Wolves substitution, and it is the winger Carlos Forbes who's coming on, Portuguese under-21 international, who's on loan from Ajax. And I can tell you that Celtic are now 3-0 up at St Johnstone. I'll bring you the news of the scorers in a moment. Kyogo Furuhashi scored just before half-time, and now two quick goals from Bernardo and another one for Furuhashi. So Kyogo's got two, and it is St Johnstone 0, Celtic 3, with a rush of goals either side of half-time. Right, the change is about to be made by Wolves, and it's Bellegarde after that last cross from the right. As I say, seemed to lack conviction, and he drops his shoulders, Bellegarde, there when he sees his number come up, and then trots to the sidelines.
I don't think he's played particularly poorly. I just think he's lacked a little bit of a cutting edge. I just think that final pass, that final ball, you think back to the shot that he had in the first half, it just maybe, like you said, the best way to describe it, lacked a little bit of conviction. Does he really believe that he's going to get an assist? Does he really believe that he's going to get a goal? And we probably didn't see that enough from him today.
So on comes Forbes for his third appearance for Wolves. First time I've seen him live, I have to confess. He was actually at Manchester City for a spell, having moved to England when he was just 11 years old, was part of the Manchester City academy. He played for Ajax last season, got 3 goals for them, and here he is, Forbes, no E, Forbs is how you spell his surname. Quite a slight figure, isn't he? Shirt outside his shorts, and Liverpool in possession inside their own half. Comes back to Van Dijk, who just looks up Larsson close to him. Big test for Larsson today against these two, Konate and Van Dijk. Suppose played forward from the halfway line by Konate, but runs all the way through for Johnston.
Yeah, just looking at the structure of Liverpool's team there, when they're looking to build a play, Van Dijk's on the ball, and you see McAllister, and he drops out of the block, and then you see Slabasai drops out of the block. There's a big hole in the middle of the pitch then for might be Jota coming back into that 10 position. It's really difficult to defend against, and Wolves look a little bit stretched at times when they set up in that formation.
Lamina, poor pass from Cunha for him. Liverpool all over it, and Liverpool now again with Gravenberch on the halfway line. McAllister goes back into his own half. Liverpool passing the ball around nicely in the central third with the 1-0 lead. There's an assurance about them here. as Alexander-Arnold receives it 10 yards inside the Wolves half. He goes on a burst, gives it to Salah. First time cross in, left-footed, but Johnston's able to catch the ball, just moving to his right, stretched high above Jota, and then out to the edge of the area. Wolves fans wanted him to release it downfield. In fact, he just overarms it out to Cunha, who passes it down the line. He has Forbes then. Forbes against Van Dijk, just keeps possession, plays it back to Cunha. Cunha then back to Forbes again. Forbes against Robertson this time. Cunha continues his run, plays the ball into Van Dijk, and he's a little unfortunate that it's blocked by the Liverpool defender. Back onto Cunha and through for a goal kick.
There was a little buzz of excitement when Forbes got on the ball there. You can see that he's got really good pace, good technical ability, very, very left-footed, wanting to come on the inside of Van Dijk. There's not too many face him up and want to take him on the outside.
Half-time, it is St Johnstone 0, Celtic 3. 5:45 kick-off, of course, in the St Johnstone game. More Premier League football for you tomorrow. Commentary on Ipswich against Aston Villa at 2 o'clock, and Manchester United Tottenham at 4:30. 5 Live, the place to listen to those two matches, but all of the top sport covered. They'll all be previewed and reviewed in Weekend Breakfast in the morning. Colin Murray then from 10 o'clock, including the Great Football Songbook, which is an excellent feature that Colin has every Sunday morning. And it's going to be West Ham's Bubbles that are featured in the morning from 10 o'clock. Long ball forward from Liverpool, but Johnston's able to deal with that quite comfortably. Plays it out, underarms it out to Andre, and then Santiago Bueno tapping it back into his own half, where Johnston uses Totti Gomez. Lamina now on the edge of the area. Lamina has to play it away from Szoboszlai. He was a little bit fortunate there, I think. He's able to continue his run. Cunha then receives it. Cunha through for Larsson, head down chasing it, but Robertson's able to come across. Konate delayed it, played back. Forbes with a chance in the 6-yard box. 1-1. Cunha arrives onto it, and Liverpool concede for only the second time in the Premier League this season.
Number 3,
Nouri it was in the 6-yard box to tuck it in, and Wolves are level. I'm not sure how many expected this, but it is Wolves 1, Liverpool 1.
Well, the roof's just come off this place here. The fans are absolutely ecstatic. What a mix-up between Konate and Alisson. Konate was holding, I think it was Forbes off, or it might have been Cunha. He thought Alisson was coming to gather the ball, but he didn't come. And then Larsson's just snuck around the outside. He's pulled it back, a little bit of a miss hit from Forbes, and it's just fallen lovely for Aït-Nouri, who slipped it in with his right foot. Incredible, really. You know, Liverpool started the second half really dominant, and that goal's come out of nothing, really. What a lift for Wolves.
Wolves 1, Liverpool 1. Equaliser in the 57th minute. Not a thing of great beauty, but Wolves have got a little bit of luck there. They've had a couple of breaks in there. Konate, they're looking at this. Players not resumed, so VAR are having a look. There must be something. There must be an issue. Anthony Taylor waiting. He's telling Liverpool to wait. Still waiting.
I think it's a bit with Konate where Larsson kind of half pulled him a little bit. For me, I don't see it as a free kick, but you never know these days.
They're waiting. The Wolves supporters are being held in suspense. Not seeing anything on our screens here suggesting what it might be.
Is there a handball somewhere in there?
Referee Taylor points and says, goal given, confirmed. Wolves 1, Liverpool 1. But it was a little bit of delay, a hesitation, a poor touch from Konate near the dead ball line in the 6-yard box that allowed Larsson to get it back, work it to Forbes, who kind of it's almost tripped over it, Forbes, but Aït-Nouri arrived in the 6-yard box. They were looking at handball against Forbes. It was all very clumsy from Forbes, but they've decided goal stands. Wolves 1, Liverpool 1. Diaz all the way across to the right-hand side, and then in left-footed into the 6-yard box. Jota was bundled over. Referee blows his whistle. Penalty to Liverpool. Jota on the edge of the 6-yard area. Well, Wolves players look as though they can't believe it, but having just drawn level, they've now conceded a penalty. and Liverpool will have a chance from 12 yards to re-establish their lead.
Well, it looked like he was leaning on him a little bit. We have to see from the replays how much. It's similar to the Salah one in the first half, but maybe a little bit more. He's got his arm high around his shoulder. I think it's difficult to not give this penalty.
There is no way, Andy, that VAR are going to turn that round, surely. On the edge of the 6-yard box, Semedo with his left arm, which is wrapped around the shoulders. The referee having given that's the on-field decision from Anthony Taylor, surely not going to be overturned.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if it's overturned. You're just wanting for Wolves' sake for them just to have a quiet 3 or 4 minutes, not too much happened. They've just scored a goal and got back into it, and that happens. You let your man get in front of you, and it's poor defending, really.
Well, they scored in the 57th minute. We're now in the 60th, and the penalty is confirmed. The Liverpool penalty. So it's going to be Mo Salah, of course. Mo Salah. The boos here ringing around Molineux, but Salah backpedals to the edge of the penalty area, stands with his hands on his hips. Sam Johnson on the line, left-footed now. Salah sends Johnston the wrong way, and Liverpool are back in front. 2-1 they lead, and Wolves just couldn't hold it level for long enough. Wolves 1, Liverpool 2.
Yeah, it's a good penalty. He's waited for the keeper to go. He's seen him, and he's just dragged it maybe a little bit off centre. Keeper's diving the wrong way. Really confident. Never thought he was going to miss, and it's back to the old position for Wolves. But Liverpool will be delighted with that. You know, it's all when you can see the goal to get one so quickly. It's demoralising for the opposition.
So Salah, having scored for the first time here at Molineux in 8 appearances, has re-established the Liverpool lead with what is his 5th goal of the season, 4 of them in the Premier League. Salah scored in the win against West Ham on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup as well, and it's the Liverpool fans you can hear singing the name of their great hero, the Egyptian king as they call him. McAllister then heading it down the left for Diaz. It's absolutely punctured things here at Molineux, that second goal for Liverpool, as Diaz just overruns it, and he's claiming that the touch that he had took it back onto Semedo, but referee Taylor doesn't see it that way and has given a free kick to Wolves.
Wolves just need to regain their composure. You know, they'll be disappointed. It's obviously a big blow, but they need to get back to playing a little bit of football, see if they can put together a couple of moves, get a little bit of possession, see if they can gain a little bit more territory. There's still plenty of time left in this game for them to get into it. A little bit like we said before, they don't want to overcommit, they don't want to go too far up the pitch and concede another one.
5 Live BBC Sounds as Forbes dives in, then Lamina plays it forward, comes off Larsson and then hits Robertson nutmegs Larsson but gives it to João Gomez, and now Cunha is tricked by Konate, just too quick with his feet there. Cunha managed to knock the ball away from Konate as he was diving in. Free kick, yellow card Konate.
It just goes to show you Wolves will still have moments in this game. He's a big boy, Konate, and you could see him making that challenge from quite a bit away, and Cunha's got nicked another booking, as you mentioned.
Yeah, 14 goals, top scorer of last season. Cunha, who
he's everywhere, John, isn't he? He pops up in some lovely little positions.
Good player, isn't he?
He drifts out wide, and then other times you'll find him in the 10. He makes some runs in behind. Good player.
Yep, Brazilian international. I think you generally need to be a very decent player to play internationally for Brazil. And just as Wolves have this free kick, we've arrived in the 63rd minute, so there's applause going around the ground. I'll explain it in a moment. But Cunha plays in this free kick, but it's headed away by Liverpool out towards the far side. And actually, I think there was an offside decision. There was. The flag's been held. Alexander Arnold wanted to take a quick one. Salah's upset that actually referee Taylor has brought it back. This applause that you're hearing here, this warm applause, this is because they are remembering one of their own, the Wolves supporters, a very well-known Wolverhampton Wanderers fan, Steve Plant, who died last week at the age of 63, and he did so much work in the community for Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club, which is still a club that is very closely connected to the city and the surroundings here, and so great for the club to be able to remember him in the way that they have. Liverpool leading 2-1. Alexander-Arnold now to Salah, left foot shot. Johnson pushes it up in the air and then is able to see it clearly, race after it and catch it before it came down on the head of Jota.
Shows you the danger that Liverpool pose on that counter-attack when they turn over possession and you get it into Salah coming in on that left foot. You know, if you're looking at it from a defensive point of view, you've got to be keeping him on his right foot. He still might go on the outside and score, mind you, but you've got a better chance of not conceding if you keep him on his right foot.
So 2-1 to Liverpool, who will go to the top of the table. Currently Manchester City are at the top, even though they dropped points at Newcastle. Manchester City and Arsenal 14 points. Chelsea on 13 points after another Cole Palmer show today, as we were hearing again at half-time. 4 goals in the first half.
Just the 4. Incredible.
He was brilliant here as well. Remember when Jackson scored his hat-trick, but when Madueke scored his hat-trick, that Palmer was involved in all 6 goals that day here.
Yeah, he's great to watch, isn't he? He just looks like he's playing football out in the street with his mates.
Well, Theo Walcott on Sports Report was talking about him almost having the standing of Dennis Bergkamp, which is some praise. Wolves 1, Liverpool 2 in the Super League Eliminator. It is now 16-all. Warrington 16, St Helens 16. Commentary on Sports Extra with Matt Newsom and John Keir, that excellent combination. So Sports Extra on your digital radio or via BBC Sounds. Here's Diaz. Wolves lose possession. Lemina, and then Semedo, the man who conceded the penalty, sent off against Liverpool last season, concedes a penalty here this season, then he's fouled. Wanted to take quick free kick. Gravenberch and referee Taylor's got himself out of that by saying he took it in the wrong place. So therefore Gravenberch, who stopped the quick taking of the free kick, isn't yellow carded. Comes back. Wolves in possession, and across to Semedo, who's still up there, and now Lemina nearer the halfway line. Wolves go back into the centre circle. It's now Northampton 30, Exeter 10 in the Premiership, and in the United Rugby Championship, Scarlets 15, Cardiff 24. Those latest scores. Live boxing on 5 Live tonight from Sheffield, the Dixon Harper world title fight. You will hear that on 5 Live, 10 o'clock or thereabouts. Here's Lemina going for a long pass downfield, looking for Forbes, who runs past Robertson, but couldn't keep the ball in, says the assistant on this side, even though he raced away into the penalty area. Can't have been much in it.
Yeah, he was unlucky again. He shows his blistering pace. He's been a real threat since he's come on, and what I like about him, he's prepared to run in behind. You know, you get a lot of wingers and they want to come to feet all the time, but it really, really hurts defenders when you make that movement in behind. He's unlucky there.
Yep, he's looked sharp, hasn't he, since he's come onto the field, involved in the goal, even though there was a question of handball about it. Here's Ait Nouri, the man who scored it. Ait Nouri, the Wolves' number 3. Now Cunha. Right foot shot from him, but he's pulled that well wide from the edge of the penalty area. There were Liverpool bodies in the way, dragged it wide by 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, but it's a decent little spell from Wolves. You know, we wondered how they were going to react to the penalty that they conceded. They've actually reacted really, really well, and they've got a couple of passages of play. Ended up with a shot there. Yeah, it could have been better, but more positivity. They're most definitely still in this game.
Well, Gary O'Neill here has decided it's time for Hwang. So the big Norwegian, Larson, is withdrawn, so I'm guessing it's a straight swap. Hwang through the middle, although he can play in the wide area, so we'll just keep an eye on that. But Hwang, who scored here against Liverpool last season when Liverpool eventually won 3-1, but on he comes, and Larson, tough against those two.
Yeah, tough, and it's a different type of threat from Hwang coming on. His movement is good. He looks to get in behind, and maybe he might be able to cause Van Dijk and Konate a few more problems than what Larson did. As we said, it's a tough task up against them too, and they matched him physically, and that's what he struggled with.
Yeah, Liverpool coming forward, leading by 2-1. They've got such a good record against Wolves. They've done the league double over Wolves in 6 of the last 7 seasons. Liverpool with Robertson on the left-hand side. Back to McAllister.
The lights now shining brightly down here on what is still an excellent football stadium. I did a full circuit of the ground today, Andy, just to have a look at Molineux again. Some of the statues that they've got, Stan Cullis and Billy Wright, and actually Sir Jack Hayward's statue up on the end where you walked from the town, the city centre, through the underpass to the ground.
It's one of them historical football clubs. It's, you know, they've been around such a long time. I like what they've done with the stadium. There's a really good feel, and I think probably the colour. I think there's something quite iconic about that as well, isn't there?
There is. Wolves 1, Liverpool 2, but struggling this season. But if you're going to struggle, you know, give yourself plenty of time to recover. And after Wolves get through these next couple of matches, then, you know, it does ease a little. They've been pitted against so many of the top teams so far this season. And Liverpool in possession, halfway inside their own half. Still just the one goal in it, trailing 2-1, so they're not out of it yet. And Hwang being sent on. Van Dijk, though, passing the ball forward to the halfway line to McAllister, and then Andre, but the ball runs for McAllister, who passes it down the right-hand side to Salah. Salah now at pace into the box against Ait-Nouri, who just about gets enough on that, and then is helped out by Santiago Bueno. Alexander-Arnold, though, is able to draw the challenge from Santiago Bueno, which puts it out for a Liverpool corner.
We spoke earlier about the rotations in midfield, and that time it was McAllister popping up in the number 10 position, and it was a lovely little turn. Half Cruyff, he sent the midfielder the wrong way. It was really, really nice play. Slipped Salah in, and you know how dangerous he is 1v1.
Yeah, 2-1 Liverpool lead, and Arne Slot is going to turn to Cody Gakpo as Liverpool's first change, having got off the mark Gakpo for the season with a couple of the goals against West Ham. And I think Curtis Jones is going to come on as well. So double change coming for Liverpool. But a corner for them, which is taken in by Andy Robertson, left-footed, looking for Konate again, which is headed away, though, for Wolves. Alexander-Arnold had to be sharp on that. Hwang was close to getting it near the centre circle. Comes through the middle. Andre hoiks it away for Wolves. Diaz gets it down. Andre is able to just pinch it away from him, and then Andre does well and turns it infield to Cunha, and Cunha's pass forward to Forbes. Forbes against Alexander-Arnold. Still Forbes beats him. Forbes shot deflected wide. Konate it was, I think, with the final deflection that took it probably 6-7 yards wide in the end.
Brilliant play from Wolves. Andre does brilliantly well to get away from Diaz. He reverses a pass into Cunha, who slips. We spoke about the weighted pass. He slips it into Forbes, and he showed his pace. Lovely chop inside, probably just not as strong on his right foot, and gave the opportunity for Konate to get a block. But it just shows that Wolves are still in this game.
Yeah, and it's a corner, their first of the match. So corner from the far side, to be taken by Cunha into the 6-yard box. Van Dijk got his head to it, but that carried it right across the penalty area into the left-back area, and then Jota. Well, that's clumsy from Bueno, just hacking down Jota.
They're the type of things that managers and coaches get so frustrated by. He's going absolutely nowhere. What he's trying to do is draw the foul. As soon as he feels any contact, he's going to go down.
Liverpool changes then. Cody Gakpo coming on for Diaz, so no further goals this season for Diaz, and Curtis Jones coming on for Szoboszlai. Curtis Jones, who has had an injury issue this season, so it's just his fourth appearance coming on for Diaz and Szoboszlai, and Arne Slot just changing it up. There has been another goal at McDermott Park. Gavin Wallace.
It's turning into a complete rout. St Johnstone 0, Celtic 4. Mr Dependable, Captain Fantastic, Callum McGregor. It was a corner over the far side. It worked out to the captain at the edge of the box, and he unleashed a low rocket with his left foot. Celtic are 4-0 up now in Perth.
In the Super League eliminator, Warrington back in front. Warrington 20, St Helens 16. It's on Sports Extra. You can watch it. You can watch that on BBC Two right now. Van Dijk heading it forward. It bounces back to the edge of the penalty area where Johnson is able to gather.
No surprise with them substitutions. I think, you know, we've been talking about how good Diaz has been. He hasn't quite sparkled today, and Szoboszlai couldn't really get into the game. So no surprise. It'll be interesting to see what Gakpo brings. He's got a lot of he's got a lot of confidence at the moment. He scored 2 the other night.
Yeah, Andre playing a ball forward for Forbes to chase. He's certainly got a turn of speed, but Alisson was out of the penalty area to clear that away. Now Konate, man who opened the scoring here. Konate passing it forward. Salah, I think, is going to be pulled up for a foul on Aït-Nouri. He is. Salah can't believe it. He's hopping mad. But free kick. Wolves take it quickly. How long have we got to go? Just over 15 minutes to play. And Wolves are still in this. Forbes has brought something to them without question.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He's really brought a bit of life. He's justified his manager's decision to bring him on. I think he's a real live wire, isn't he?
He is. Liverpool on the back foot here as Wolves search for what would be only their second point of the season. Low ball in for Cunha. Got the draw at Nottingham Forest, the 1-1 draw. Lost both of the league matches they've played here at Molineux this season. The big defeat in the end against Chelsea, and then losing against Newcastle when they had a big part of that match. And then João Gomez is conceding a free kick after falling on the ball, really, and it was probably given for handball, but a free kick to Liverpool halfway inside their own half. Yeah, 15 minutes to play now. With this scoreline, Liverpool will be going to the top of the Premier League table this season. They have won 4 of the 5 matches that they've played in the Premier League. Arne Slot, in the process, becoming the first Liverpool manager since the 1800s to win 6 of his first 7 in all competitions, since Tom Watson did that. Wolves coming forward. Cunha into the penalty area for Hwang. Van Dijk comes across shoulder to shoulder. The ball bounces behind Anthony Taylor 10 yards away, says corner to Wolves from the left, and they raise themselves again in the Sir Jack Hayward stand.
They're taking it quickly as well.
They have, and it's played back centrally to Andre back out towards the left flank. In comes the ball, but into the path of Van Dijk, who's able to clear it away. Comes out for Semedo to take it down, and he went for goal, and it's been blocked down by Jones. The ball's ricocheted back into the Wolves half. Salah tried to then play it square to Jones, and a rather relieved Semedo found himself right between the two of them, able to take possession of the ball and clear it away. And then Wolves with Totti Gomez now withstands the challenge from Jota. Totti Gomez back centrally to Bueno, who didn't look too comfortable there, and then forward from Andre Lamina. Suddenly it just feels quite open. Wolves have a chance here.
The game's opened up. It's really well poised, really well poised.
A flick from Lamina in the area, tried to knock it back to João Gomez on the edge of the area, but then Lamina, all action, is over there to win it back from Salah, who I think might have been caught by a flying arm by Lamina, but it's out of play and it's Liverpool's ball, and they're going to make another change here. Now this is interesting. Santiago Bueno coming off, and Tommy Doyle is coming on. So it looks, I'm guessing, Andy, you would know better than me, but I'm guessing it's going to be Semedo, Totti Gomez and Aït-Nouri as 3 central defenders.
Yeah, I think he wants to get another body higher up the pitch, and rightly so. I think it's the time for it. It's 15 minutes left. I actually think that this is a really big 15 minutes for Liverpool if they want to secure their championship credentials. These are really important games. They have to be able to see this out.
So Tommy Doyle, former Manchester City youngster, is onto the field. Remember him on loan at Sheffield United, and it does actually look as though they're sticking with the back 4, and Mario Lamina is actually taking up a position alongside Totti Gomez. And the other thing we don't know, again, just to mention, it's Santiago Bueno. It's entirely possible, isn't it, that he might have been one of those Wolves players who've been ill this week, as Gakpo crosses from the left, right-footed. That's headed away for Wolves, comes back to Robertson. Liverpool leading 2-1 here. Gakpo plays the ball through the legs of João Gomez. Gravenberch, Curtis Jones now to Salah, right side of the box, flicks it back. Jones with a shot, and Johnson had to go down and make actually quite a smart save down to his left to push it round the foot of the post.
Well, they kept walking it, didn't they? They want to take the shot from the edge of the box. They moved it around. Curtis Jones got on the ball. He slipped it into Salah. It was a good cut back, a decent strike. You would expect the keeper to save it.
Yeah, you would. So it's a corner to Liverpool. Curtis Jones. Lee Carsley names his next squad on Thursday. I wonder if Curtis Jones might be in it. He wasn't available. He was out with injury for Lee Carsley's first squad last month. So that's Thursday afternoon. You'll hear that on 5 Live. But corner for Liverpool. Into the near post. A flick from Gakpo right across the box and out to Gravenberch near the left corner of the box. Back towards the centre circle to Robertson. Gary O'Neill suddenly all animation arrives. The Wolves head coach on the edge of the 6-yard box. Long and forward from Alisson. I think that's got too much on it. It bounces out of play for a throw into Wolves with just over 10 minutes to go, Andy.
Yeah, it's not quite desperation stage yet. You know, it's not quite the stage where you need to be kind of committing too much. I think you need to get after the ball a little bit more. You probably need your whole team to be playing up the pitch. You just don't want to leave too many gaps behind because Liverpool are so good at exposing them.
Warrington 22, St Helens 16. The latest score in the Eliminator. We'll have news during the latter part of the evening as well on the President's Cup golf, which was tremendously dramatic yesterday with USA 5-0 up, brought back to 5-5 as Liverpool have possession halfway inside their own half with Van Dijk, who just walks it forward. Then to Jota over the halfway line, back from him. Van Dijk again, long right-footed pass. No Darwin Núñez, by the way, if you weren't listening earlier. He's been ill this week, so not involved for Liverpool, as Andre puts the challenge in on Alexander-Arnold. So we're throwing to Liverpool down the right-hand side, who noticeably here just slowing things down, which I think tells its own story, that they know that Wolves have asked questions here, as they have during most, if not all, of the matches they've played this season, even though they are bottom of the table. As Ait Nouri puts in a challenge and it bounces out of play and behind for what I think has been given as a goal kick, although Curtis Jones doesn't agree with that. But a goal kick to Wolves.
Yeah, Liverpool have definitely been in a game, you know. It's a real tricky one. How often do you go before it's, you know, the performances? You need to get the results. You can't keep saying, yeah, we're putting a good performance but we lost again. They need to start picking up some results. The fans have stuck with them today, and you can just hear them now. They're just trying to lift the team a little bit.
Yep, they have. They recognise that it has been a contest. Gakpo square towards Gravenberch now. Alexander-Arnold to Salah. Salah speeds into the penalty area, takes on Ait Nouri, still going, trying to work it across in the way that almost only Salah can do when he's moving at pace like that. Defenders coming in, and yet still with those quick feet. you would never rule him out.
He started to look really ominous the last 10-12 minutes. The Wolves would be really fair. It was a lovely piece of skill by Gakpo just before that, before he slipped the ball out.
Yeah, so it's a corner in front of the towering 2-tier, very steeply banked Stan Cullis stand. Robertson to play this in. Liverpool 2-1 up. Robertson raises his right arm. Here's the delivery. It's a high one into the 6-yard box. Lamina and Johnston went for the same ball, teammates. Eventually it's cleared away, comes out to Gravenberch. Gravenberch turns and carries the ball on and is still going into the penalty area, and Gravenberch then tried to play it back and got it all wrong, although Salah has won it back from Andre. Groans from the home supporters. Jones curls it into the 6-yard box, and Totti Gomez, well, he had Salah behind him and he was able to dive and head it behind with Gakpo as well in there. That wasn't far away from reaching one or other of them, but it's another corner.
Yeah, it was good defending because it was a really, really good ball by Curtis Jones. Good pace on it into a good area. Wolves are under a lot of pressure at the moment.
They are. Robertson to take another corner. Same routine. Lots of movement. And it comes to the near post. A little glance right across to the back post where Jota missed his kick. Fortunately for Wolves. Back to Gravenberch though. He was able to get the ball under control. McAllister now plays the ball in, but it's headed up and over by Konaté, 7 or 8 yards out, over the top of the crossbar. Goal kick. Wolves, who have got 7 minutes plus added time left to try and get something out of this.
Yeah, it's just so difficult when you can't get the ball back off a team like Liverpool. You know, you just want them to create that one last opportunity, but they can't seem to get enough time on the ball. They can't seem to get up the pitch enough to really be able to create anything. They look a bit tired as well, John.
Yeah, they do. Celtic still winning 4-0. Still Bayern Munich 1, Bayer Leverkusen 1 incidentally in the Bundesliga. as Cunha takes the ball down in the centre circle. Cunha on a run through the middle, but he's overrun that. Van Dijk was able just to stand and pass it away. And now Jones shrugs off João Gomez, turns, he's then getting his shirt pulled, and that's going to be a free kick to Liverpool, who again will slow the game down. It's been much talked about, hasn't it, this week, game management, call it what you want. All the teams do it at whatever level.
It'll always be a part of the game, and I think it should be as well. You know, we're always trying to gain that edge, you know, and I think it's fascinating. It makes for them rivalries. It makes them even worse when you see managers getting annoyed at the opposition. It's what we love to see, isn't it?
Be interesting to know, even if these sort of things are coached in the academies these days. If only we had someone here who couldn't possibly give you that type of information. I'd have safeguard chasing me down. Long ball played forward for Jota to chase, but Lamina puts it out of play. Throwing to Liverpool on the left hand side. It does just have a feel at the moment that Liverpool have weathered a storm, such as it's been, but that threat of Forbes is still dangerous. And Hwang on the field now. Lines open for 6:06. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton waiting for your calls. 08085 909 693. It's been another FA Cup weekend today with the third qualifying round, so if you've seen something extraordinary in the FA Cup today that has not been in the national spotlight, give them a ring and let them know. 08085 909 693. Throw in for Wolves, which is headed back by Totti Gomez to goalkeeper Johnston. Johnston overarming it out to Lamina, now in central defence. Andre has dropped deep. Andre still well inside his own half. Red shirts in front of him, groans because he goes backwards, and from that point Wolves actually go back to goalkeeper Johnston again. We'll bring the live interviews as well with the managers, Arna Slot, Gary O'Neill. You'll hear that during the course of 6:06, all being well. If not, they'll be on the 5 Live Football Daily podcast in the morning from BBC Sounds. Still Wolves can't get out of their own defensive third.
Liverpool are managing the game really well. They've got a really nice shape about them. They're committing forward to the press, but they're not actually jumping, so there's no real space for Wolves to play through. They don't really want to go long because Larsson's off the pitch now, so I think it's really good by Liverpool. It's really professional.
Yeah, Liverpool poised to go to the top of the table, unless Wolves, here's Doyle now on the right, but his pass couldn't find Forbes. And then Forbes has just caught Robertson, who's gone down after the event, having just run the ball away. I think it's one of those where he's probably caught on the ball of his ankle, maybe something like that, felt it, went down. Yellow card for Forbes for that. I didn't see that one coming.
Yellow card.
Well, I don't think we've had one for the whole of the second half, have we? So
is that how we're judging it? We haven't had one for the whole of the second half.
No, it's now Warrington 22, St Helens 22, right at the end of that Super League eliminator. Dramatic stuff. Commentary on Sports Extra right now. Liverpool going to make another change. Joe Gomez appears from underneath the old style roof of the dugout. It's got 1980s written all over them, haven't there, those Wolves dugouts here. Perspex top and back, and the old goal metalwork. So out he steps from below ground, and he's going to come onto the field, which suggests that Robertson might not be able to continue here. And they are gathered around him. So maybe it's a little bit more serious than I thought for Robertson, who's just getting very carefully to his feet. He's limping away, and I think he's going to walk off the field, and applauds over to the Liverpool fans who are on their feet over on the far side. Andy Robertson, who actually scored here last season in Liverpool's win, and leaves the field now and is replaced by Gomez, who will replace him at left back.
He was so close to another assist here earlier on, that chance that he put a brilliant ball into the box for Slabasai when the keeper pulled off an incredible save. So one away from still on 59, is it?
It is, yep, still 59. So 2-1 Liverpool lead. Liverpool took the lead just before half-time. Konaté's header. Second half, Semedo fouled Jota on the edge of the 6-yard box. Penalty, which was scored by Salah just a few minutes after Ryan Ait-Nouri had made it 1-1. So they are into the golden point now in the Super League eliminator. Warrington 22, St Helens 22. Van Dijk plays the ball back to Gomez, who had to stretch for that, and then passes it back to Alisson, who will clear it first time, straight onto the head of João Gomez. Van Dijk left-footed away. We're in the 90th minute now, and offside flag against Gakpo. Wolves with a free kick. Semedo plays it backwards to Lamina, who knocks it across the back line. Wolves here facing what would be a third consecutive Premier League defeat. Lamina, long pass downfield, headed away by Alexander-Arnold. Salah, back to Alexander-Arnold. Now Curtis Jones, still halfway inside his own half. McAllister, Gravenberch just withstands the challenge of João Gomez and then wins a throw-in, playing it off the Wolves man for a throw-in on the far side. Actually, Wolves could have, if it stays like this, Wolves will have lost 5 out of 6 in the league this season, which would equal the club's worst losing home start to a league season. So we've got 6 minutes to be added on, which are being indicated
There
now.
will be a minimum of 6 minutes added time. 6 minutes.
So that underlines it. And Johnston, long and downfield through the middle, looking for Hwang, but right onto the head of Van Dijk, who's able to nod it back to João Gomez. Konaté then just steers it out of play.
Hwang's, we mentioned it when he came on, he's a completely different profile to Larsson. Larsson was able to compete with him, although he didn't get much change from Konaté and Van Dijk. They weren't kind of heading the ball back too far, and Wolves were able to pick up some second balls. It's a different type of player with Hwang. He needs to be slipped down the sides, he needs to be running in behind, and Wolves haven't kept the ball high up enough up the pitch in the last few minutes.
Oh, fine flick by Doyle for Forbes to run onto in the full-back position. Beats Gomez, left-footed cross to the back post. That's headed away by Salah, was back inside his own penalty area with the defensive header. Wolves play it into the box, but it deflects for Alexander-Arnold, and Liverpool with Salah, who's shielding it from João Gomez, and then Salah's given it away. Here's Hwang back out of the box to Andre, and there was a chance there for Wolves, not taken. Liverpool are back in position. Here's Forbes though, goes round Gomez, plays it infield, might have come off the arm of McAllister. Referee doesn't give the free kick. Hwang now to Doyle on the right. Doyle's cross, curls it high. Alisson comes for it. Alisson catches it near the corner of the 6-yard box.
I thought he could have walked it maybe a little bit more. There was only Cunha in the box when he went to whip the ball in, because Hwang had played it out to him, so maybe could have bought his team a little bit more time, maybe try to sustain the attack a little bit, try and build a little bit of pressure on Liverpool.
It is now 5-0 to Celtic. Maeda has scored the 5th goal for Brendan Rodgers' side. Wolves 1, Liverpool 2. Liverpool starting a match with a new manager for the first time since the man that followed Brendan Rodgers. Liverpool going back into their own half to Van Dijk. 2 minutes of the 6 have been played. Liverpool now looking to control the game. Konaté, forward from him for Alexander-Arnold, who makes the run. Ait-Nouri struggling here. Alexander-Arnold stretches, plays it across to McAllister, now to Gakpo all the way across the 6-yard box, and it just rolls behind for a goal kick. Alexander-Arnold stopped in his tracks, but I think he knew he was in an offside position.
Yeah, he knew he was offside, so he couldn't go for that. I think Gakpo was looking to put it across, hoping somebody would get on the end of it. Unfortunately for him, there was no Liverpool player to gather up, but probably should have been a goal.
606 08 085 909 693 to talk to Robbie and Chris, waiting for your calls. Doyle, after such an eventful day in the Premier League, so much to talk about today. Wolves trying to give us something else to talk about with Cunha down the left-hand side. Cunha's ball across, Konaté slid in, that blocked it back into Salah, who was back there again, and then it deflected back into the hands of Alisson, and Warrington have won it. With a drop goal winner, Warrington have beaten St Helens so dramatically, 23-22. So Warrington are through and St Helens are out. So dramatic stuff in the Super League Eliminator. We'll have more on that throughout the course of the evening in the sports bulletins. Wolves defending here. Liverpool just a couple of minutes away from victory. Gakpo is in an offside position. Wolves with a free kick. We've got just over 2 minutes of added time to play. Wolves have got to be quick.
Yeah, I think it's been really professional from Liverpool since they scored the second goal. They haven't really let Wolves had too much. They've kept the ball really well. They've kept the shape really well when they haven't been in possession, and they've made it really difficult for Wolves to break the lines. And you can hear the fans getting frustrated, but you have to give credit to Liverpool. I do think it's been a professional performance.
Yep, Andy Reid that with us here on 5 Live. Here's Jota for Liverpool as Wolves could barely get over the halfway line, and Liverpool have got it back again, and now well into the 5th minute of added time. It's all the way back to Alisson. Konate passing it out, but he's passed it straight to Joao Gomez. Cunha then couldn't take the ball in his stride. Konate away, but Liverpool have lost possession again, and Semedo. Now here it is with Forbes up against Gomez, goes for the early cross this time, straight into the upper body of Gomez, which blocked it out back to the right hand side. Forbes got there first, Wolves still with it, back to Semedo who crucially conceded the penalty just after Wolves had equalised. Semedo's ball forward straight onto the chest of McAllister. Again, disappointment for the home supporters. Liverpool downfield. We're now into the final minute, the 6th minute of added time. Sam Johnston, long from him, out to the left-hand side where it's taken down and played forward by Ait-Nouri, but Van Dijk is just able to shrug off Hwang, chest it down. Liverpool clear again. Totti Gomez though, forward from him. Hwang, now to Cunha. Ait-Nouri again, back to Hwang. Hwang's ball forward, straight into Gravenberch, who is straight in front of him. And now Liverpool with Jota, and Liverpool are just going to carry the ball downfield here. That's how it would seem. Jota, who was so popular here. Jota nudged off the ball by Hwang, went down, conceded a throw-in, no free kick. Last chance Wolves. Doyle forward. Cunha got his head to it on the edge of the area, but Konate comes across and then is blatantly tugged back by Cunha. And they don't like it, the home supporters, but the Liverpool fans cheer Konate. Free kick to Liverpool, and that is it. Liverpool to the top of the Premier League. Arne Slot, their new manager, turns away. He steered them to 5 wins out of 6 now at the start of this new Premier League season, his first in charge. That is not bad for starters.
Yeah, I think it hasn't been an exceptional performance today. I think it's been a very professional one. I think they've gone about the work in the right way. They've got the goals at the right times that really helped them, and Wolves kind of struggled to penetrate them after that. So good professional performance, the type of performance that if you are going to go and challenge for the championship, you have to really go and win these games, and they've done that.
They have. Liverpool winning by 2-1. Mo Salah's penalty eventually proving to be the match winner. Konate scoring just before half-time. Ait-Nouri equalising, and that lifted everything here. But within 3 minutes, it was the penalty conceded by Semedo, and Wolves have lost again. They've lost 3 out of 3 in the league this season. They've lost 13 of their last 18 Premier League matches. End of last season, start of this. It's not that the numbers are not good.
Yeah, no, the numbers are not good, and that is quite worrying. But there's plenty of positives to take from today and from a lot of the games that they've played. How long you can go on and keep saying that? That's the question. But if you look at some of the performances there, I thought Cunha at times was excellent, Lamina was excellent. At times they troubled Liverpool without having too much cutting edge. So, you know, they've got good players, they've got a good side there. They just need to get that first win. They just need to get some points on the board. But tough times at the moment for them.
Yeah, it is. It's actually, this has become a familiar story for them this season, but stay bottom of the table. What is the latest in the 5:45 kick-off in the Premiership? Celtic coasting to victory with you, Gavin Wallace?
They are indeed. St Johnstone 0, Celtic 5. That 5th goal, John, was an absolute love. It was lovely. Great ball into the box. Dyson made a perfectly timed run, put the header well beyond Ross Sinclair in goal, and Celtic cruising to victory. St Johnstone 0, Celtic 5.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Andy Reid.
It's been a pleasure, John.
Yeah, very enjoyable match, good contest. Anthony Taylor being booed off the field, and the Liverpool players going to their supporters in the Steve Bull stand on the far side of the ground, because Liverpool have moved on to 15 points, which means that they are at the top of the Premier League, 1 point ahead of the champions Manchester City and Arsenal, and then Chelsea back on 13 points. So we will be crossing to Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton for 606 in a moment or two. Give them a call, 08085 909 693. So much to talk about today. There'll be live boxing tonight on 5 Live, the Rhiannon Dixon Terry Harper world title fight. That's on 5 live from Sheffield. And then tomorrow, the decider in the one-day international series, England-Australia, ball-by-ball commentary on Sport Extra. Final day of the county championship tomorrow as well, and 2 more Premier League commentaries. Ipswich Aston Villa from 2, Manchester United Tottenham from 4:30. 5 Live, the place to listen to them both. But as I say, 606 coming up very soon after the news with Jill McKenzie.